Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Today I will be teaching you about factoring by CMF. So, factoring by CMF, you would be required to get the factored form, this one. Okay, and for me, I have constructed a formula, which is I think it already exists. So, this is the formula that I did made. Okay, the FF is equal to CMF parenthesis the quotient. So how do we actually get the CMF? So the CMF is actually just the given, the GCF I mean, times the LCV. Okay, the CMF is equal to the GCF times the LCV, wherein the GCF is also known as, I'm going to write it here, wherein GCF is equal to the greatest common factor. Of course, you're familiar with the GCF, and then the LCV is the least common variable. Okay, the name suggests what that thing is about. Okay, the least common variable and then the LCV. So the next thing that we need to be discussing would be the LCV. So what is not LCV, the quotient. Okay, so the quotient is just simply equals to the given divided by the CMF. Okay, so when it comes to this class, what we do with this quotient is, just a side note, divide every term of the given with the CMF. Okay, CMF. Okay, so you divide every term of the given with the CMF, and of course I would assume na dapat medyo knowledgeable na kayo pagdating sa dividing ng numbers and at the same time dividing ng variables. Okay, so now we have attained the CMF and quotient. You just need to put them together to get the factored form. Okay, so now let's apply the rules or the formulas on a given example. So first one, say I have 5a squared b plus 10a squared b cubed. Okay, so again, the very first thing that we need to do is of course to get the CMF. Okay, at ang sabi sa CMF, I just simply need to have balikan natin, the GCF and then the LCV. Okay, so the GCF for this given, I'll write it here at the side. GCF would be for the number part, numerical coefficient, and ang ating LCV would be for the variables. Okay, so ang GCF ng 5 and 10 is of course just simply 5 lang yung GCF niya. Okay, and then the LCV would be the least common variable. So you have to ask yourself, ano yung common na variable nila? A and A, B and B, and then you have to choose dun sa common na dalawa is ano yung pinakamaliit. Common yung A, yes. Ang pinakamaliit na A is A squared kasi para silang A squared, so you'll have A squared. Common yung B, pero yung isang B cube, isang B wala, B raised to 1 lang. So I will take the least, pinakamaliit, I will take B. And then this would be your CMF, 5a squared b. Ganun lang kadali. Okay, now for the quotient part, diyan tayo sa quotient. Sa quotient part, ang sabi daw dyan, you will take your given and you will divide it by the CMF. Ang kaso, every term, take note, every term will be divided by the CMF. So ang terms natin dito is just simply 5a squared b plus 10a squared b cubed. We divide every term by 5a squared b, and this one is 5a squared b. Okay, so division lang. So 5 divided by 5 is 1, a squared divided by a squared mawawala, B divided by B mawawala. Anong natira? 1. Okay? So not when you're dividing, it's not necessarily it vanishes, but if it's the same number, it actually becomes 1. Okay? Since lahat nawala, so matitira lang is 1. Plus 10 divided by 5 is 2. Let me write that down in another color. Okay. Let's use 5 divided by 5 is 1. This is still 1, and this is 1. And since wala namang addition dyan, it's purely multiplication. 1 times 1 times 1 is equals to just simply 1. And 10 divided by 5 is 2. Ito mawawala, it would become 1. And b cubed divided by b, magiging sagot, b squared. On what sense? Division of variables. Okay, and loss of exponent. So, anong natira sa quotient? Ang natira sa quotient is just simply 1 plus 2. Ayan, 2. 1. So, neglect. Pwede mo na alisin kasi 2 times 1 yan. And b squared. So, ito yung quotient natin. And for me to get the factored form is just simply, wait for what? The factored form is just simply CMF parenthesis quotient. And in that case, magiging sagot would simply be CMF natin, 5a squared p parenthesis 1 plus 2 p squared. And this is your final answer. Okay? If you would be provided with a more complex given, the same lang yung rule. Take note, walang magbabago. Kasi yun nga, it's a formula. It's applicable for everything. This case. Okay. Say we have 22 mn p raised to 4 minus 33 mn raised to 4 p plus 44 m raised to 4 n p. Okay? So, in this case, ang sabi natin na gagawin natin, hanapin si GCF, hanapin si LCV para sa CMF. So, ang CMF natin dito would simply be like this. CMF. Okay? So, ang CMF natin again is 22, 33, and 44. Ang GCF niyan is 11. Okay? I will not discuss much on that kasi yan ay elementary topic, GCF. Then the MNP, you will notice MNP is common for everyone. Okay? So, sabihin, lahat may M, lahat may N, lahat may P. But you have to ask yourself, LCV nga siya, kaya sabing LCV, least common variable, pinakamaliit. So, ang pinakamaliit na M within this tree is at una M raised to 1, pangalawa M raised to 1 ulit. M raised to 1, M raised to 1, M raised to 4. Ano pinakamaliit na M? Which is of course M raised to 1. So, M lang. And next, for the N, ang mga N natin is N raised to 4, and N. Ang pinakamalit na N is of course N lang. Kasi N raised to 1 lang yan. Then for the P, you will notice, ang P natin tatlo rin. P raised to 4, P, and P. So, mangyari would be, matitira, kukunin natin si P lang. Kasi wala namang mas maliit pa sa P raised to 1. Okay? So, ito yung CMF natin. How about our quotient? Ang quotient natin is just simply all the terms divided by the CMF, which is what? 22 mnp raised to 4 divided by 11 mnp minus 33 mn raised to 4p divided by 11 mnp plus 44 m raised to 4 np divided by 11 mnp. Let me fix that. mnp. So, division, again, 22 divided by 11, let me use the green marker, the answer is 11. M mawawala kasi wala namang parehas sila. M, N as well, pero yung P raised to 4 divided by P, mababawasan lang to ng isa. So, ito magiging 3. Take note na bawasan lang. If in any case, review ko lang ha, x raised to 4 divided by x squared, mababawasan to ng 2. Okay? Anyways, going back, 33 divided by 11 is 3, mawawala, magiging 3, mawawala, and then mawawala. This would be 4, this would be 3, and P mawawala. So what is left? The quotient is just simply 11 P cube minus 3 N cube plus 4 M cube. Ano na, saan nanggaling yon? Yung P, take note, babalik yan dito. May cube nga lang siya. Okay, same goes. Yung N, nandyan, kaso may 3 siya. And yung M, nandito, kaso meron siyang 3. Okay? So, I hope you got that. So, ito yung quotient natin. And ang ating factored form is just simply putting the CMF and the quotient beside each other. Take note, beside. Magkatabi lang. And this would be 11 P cube minus 3N cube plus 4M cube. And this is your final answer. Thank you for listening and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.